Hello, everybody, and welcome back to a bonus episode of Let's Talk with No Politics, okay? Here on the Helium Radio Network, and you can also catch the video on YouTube as well. I'm your host, Andrew Lenz, and today I have more tiering to do. Doing baseball movies, there's not a whole lot on here, but I figured it'll be fun to do. I've never seen too many bad baseball movies, like horrible. There's some ones where it's kind of like, I'm not a big fan of it. But there's also so many great ones out there as well. So I'm going to go through each and every one and tier them out to see where I would put them into each tier. And because we're doing baseball movies, or I'm doing baseball movies, I put the tiers into, say, baseball-like categories. We got a grand slam. That's just a great baseball movie. Home run, not quite totally awesome, but pretty damn good. Base hit, it gets you what you need. Swing and a miss, and then the basic category of having a scene. So without further ado, I'm going to go through. I'm just doing the ones that they gave me, and that's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to kind of base it on baseball-ish and maybe kind of life lessons around baseball. And the first one is A League of Their Own. I think this is an absolute grand slam of a baseball movie. It's fun. It's based on a true story. It's fun. It's witty. It's everything you want. It has that baseball, but yet it shows a different side of baseball in a way. It shows you, America during a time of World War II and everything else as well. So I don't think you could ever go wrong with watching A League of Their Own. Definitely cannot go wrong. Next one is one that I watched kind of recently, not too long ago, was Trouble with the Curve. This is Clint Eastwood. He is, if you've never seen it, Clint Eastwood is, been a baseball scout all of his life. Then there's Justin Timberlake, who's a former number one prospect, becomes one. They feel Clint Eastwood is losing his touch, younger scouts as well. And so it's kind of a great life lesson here with the daughter and everything else. I like that aspect of it. Baseball-wise, it's pretty good, but is it League of Their Own territory? No. I'm going to say it's a base hit. It's a good quality movie. It's a base hit. It's a base hit. Mr. 3000, Bernie Mac on the quest to get his 3000 hit as it was revoked later on, so he decides to come back to get 3000. I think this is in the same category as Trouble with the Curve. It's a base hit. It's Bernie Mac. You can't go wrong. Baseball, but it is not very. I didn't think it was that overly awesome. So the next one is the Bad News Bears. I can't see this, so it looks like the one with Billy Bob Thornton, which are two drastically different, I feel, movies. The one with Billy Bob Thornton, I'd put it as a base hit, but since I can't really tell, actually I can tell it is the one with Billy Bob Thornton, because you can tell by the cover. It's like I said, it's a base hit. If this was the original Bad News Bears, then that's 100% grand slam every single time. You can't go wrong with that one. The Billy Bob Thornton version, they rebooted it. They updated it into more of today's lingo. Excuse me, and everything else. But overall, it's not. It doesn't live up anywhere to the hype as the other one. I know it's hard to do that when you're rebooting or remaking something, but this one just doesn't have it. For the love of the game, I have not seen this one. Moneyball, I think is another Grand Slam one. I like to watch Moneyball. There's a lot of parts in Moneyball that I like. I know it's not 100% factually correct, but it just shows you the behind the scenes of, in a movie cinematic way. It's kind of like the baseball version of Draft Day, where here's a general manager. He doesn't have money. He's losing players after he's developing them. So what is he going to do? How can he fix this? And it comes down to, just him learning the ins and outs of, what is it called? Sabermetrics of baseball, to figure out how to put together a winning team with the least amount of money every year. The way that he has conversations, my favorite is the one with David Justice, a little bit of spoiler alerts, where they trade for David Justice, but they only take so much of his contract, and the Yankees are still playing David Justice, even though he's playing for the A's. He says, well, the old man's still paying, X amount of money on your contract, so what does that tell you how he thinks about you? And I just thought that was absolutely great. So Moneyball, definitely a Grand Slam. The Natural, that's a Grand Slam. What else can I say? It's a Grand Slam. There's nothing you could say. Even if you're not a baseball fan, you're going to watch this. If you're a baseball fan, you're going to watch it. It's an amazing movie just by itself. So that's why it's in the Grand Slam tier. Next one here is Fever Pitch, starring Jimmy Fallon and Drew Barrymore, about, Jimmy Fallon being this obsessed Red Sox fan. They actually had to reshoot the ending of it because the Red Sox did win the 2004 World Series. It's one of my favorite movies as a Red Sox fan. Do I put it up there with A League of Their Own, Moneyball, and The Natural? No. But because I am a Red Sox fan and everything else, I'm going to put it in the home run category. Because that's how great it is to me. It's about the 04 Red Sox, my favorite sports team of all time. Next one is The Babe with John Goodman. Not quite sure where I want to put this one. I have seen it, so I'm not going to put it in the haven't seen. But where do I want this to go? There's the ultimate question. Is it a home run? Is it a base hit? I know it's not a swing and a miss. But in my mind, it is definitely just a base hit and nothing else. It's a decent movie. It's just got nothing in there that I kind of remember and stands out to me, kind of like Fever Pitch, The Natural, those movies as well. I just think it's a base hit. That's all it is. The Sandlot, just 90s movies wise, anything else, that's a Grand Slam. Even a baseball movie, because it brings back that nostalgic nature of, no matter what decade you were born in, what year you were born in, of going out and just playing baseball with your friends, playing this wonderful game, pretending like you're this guy or that guy and just talking baseball, or even if you play any other sports with your friends. That is what The Sandlot does. And The Sandlot does it so well, to the point where I think it speaks to younger kids, older kids, or older adults and everything else. Sandlot, Grand Slam. Summer Catch, never seen, because it has not. I don't know. I don't like it. So Major League is another grand slam. I think this is another movie you can't go wrong with. Characters all the way down the line. I own a Rick Vaughn jersey. Wild Thing stands out. I remember watching this as a kid. Just all the great lines. My favorite movie quote is in this of all time, and that is, "Are you telling me that Jesus Christ can't hit a curveball?" It is just an amazing movie. If you haven't seen it and you love baseball or you just like good comedies, please go check out Major League. So they did make a Major League 2. I don't think it is as good as the first one. I was almost going to put it in the home run category, but I'm going to put it in a base hit. Major League 2, it does good. It kind of brings back what Major League did, but you can't really capture what Major League did with Major League 2. Just not 100%. I feel happy with that. So I got to give it a base hit. It's not a swing and a miss. It's still pretty good. It has its parts. It has its moments. But it's not as good. Not as good as the original or the first one. Major League 3, what is that? Like Back to the Minors? That's a swing and a miss. Just don't even bother with that one. If you're going to watch anything Major League, watch Major League 1, watch Major League 2. Call it a day. That's all that there is. I don't have very many home runs because I think when it comes to a baseball movie, it's very... That's might be a kind of a thin line. We'll see what we got going on. So Bull Durham, it's a grand slam. Great baseball movie, great everything. Great story, great one-liners, great everything about it. It's absolutely amazing. Love Bull Durham. The minute I watched it, it became definitely one of my favorite baseball movies, as you can see up there, because these are what's in Grand Slams, definitely some of my favorite baseball movies. But it's absolutely amazing. The mentorship of this rundown catcher, and how I love it when he talks about being in the show. When Crash, Kevin Costner character, talks about being in the show, and everybody turns around in the bus because that's ultimately where they're trying to get, because this is about a minor league team. And it's so... I just really, really enjoy that aspect of it. So the next one is another Kevin Costner baseball movie, Field of Dreams. It's a grand slam. The journey that he goes on, the things that he puts himself through financially, mentally, his family on the line, just to build this baseball field. Absolutely amazing. There's nothing more that you can say about it. Angels in the Outfield. It could happen. Base hit. It's a fun movie for kids, but I'm never going to seek this out 100%. But for the time, it's not bad. I'll give it its due as a base hit. I won't say swing and a miss. +2, it's got Tony Danza and Danny Glover. Can't go wrong with Tony Danza and Danny Glover. Oh, Christopher Lloyd. Christopher Lloyd is absolutely amazing, playing Al the Angel. So there you go. So Rookie of the Year is the next one, and I got to give this one a home run. I don't think it's a grand slam like Sandlot, but I think it is definitely a home run. What kid didn't want to throw 100 miles per hour? What kid didn't want to all of a sudden get this amazing ability and then join their favorite team? Even though the Cubs were horrible back then. I don't know how they're doing now. I kind of fell out of love with, I wouldn't say fell out of love with the game, but definitely don't watch it as much. But it's definitely a home run, and it's a great little story as well. The Rookie, I watched this, and I think I'd put in a home run because it's pretty good. It's pretty entertaining. I want to say it's a base hit, but definitely might get some pushback because the story's good. 8 Men Out is a grand slam about the 1918 Black Sox scandal. Shoeless Joe Jackson gets banned from baseball and everything else. Great, just great story, and pretty much in it, which is a true story. So please, uh, that one is just amazing. John Cusack, the father from Frasier's in there. I forgot who else. There's a couple other actors there as well, but it is a great movie, and I gotta say, it's a grand slam. 42, the Jackie Robinson remake movie, because there is an older one from, I believe, the 50s, which isn't too bad, but 42, definitely a grand slam because of the story, the truth behind the story, and everything else. Definitely love it. The Perfect Game, I've never seen. Uh, $1 Million Arm, I've never seen. Benchwarmers has a baseball movie. Um, I'll give it a base hit. It's good comedy. It's a nice little message about everybody coming together. It's pretty entertaining that three guys are beating a bunch of little kids at a baseball game. It's pretty good. I'll give it that. Little Big League, the story of the kid who becomes the owner of the Minnesota Twins because his grandfather dies. It's a base hit just because who didn't want to own a baseball team when they were a kid or even make themselves the manager of a baseball team and everything else. I got to give it a base hit. Nothing more than that. Nothing more. And I don't think anything less. So let's go back through and where I put each one. In my Grand Slam tier, I have A League of Their Own, Moneyball, The Natural, The Sandlot, Major League, Bull Durham, Field of Dreams, 8 Men Out, and 42. Home run category, which is the tier below Grand Slam, we have Fever Pitch, Rookie of the Year, and The Rookie. Base hit is Trouble with a Curve, Mr. 3000, The Bad News Bears, the one with Billy Bob Thornton, The Babe with John Goodman, Major League 2, Angels in the Outfield, Benchwarmers, and Little Big League. A Swing and a Miss is Major League 3, and I haven't seen For the Love of the Game, Summer Catch, The Perfect Game, or The Million Dollar Arm, and that is the tiering list. So make sure you check out new episodes of Let's Talk But No Politics, okay, every Sunday on the BICBP Radio Network, Apple Podcast, Spotify. Go to the Facebook page. Always great content there as well. And also make sure if you're watching the video, go to the YouTube channel. We got some great Let's Plays and some other tierings you can catch up on. And with that being said, good morning, good afternoon, and good night.